So after that, there was a situation with you in 2006 where you were hanging out next to your Lamborghini and 3 guys approached you and tried to rob you. The rumor was it that these guys were linked to Fabulous's crew?
Right.
Any truth in that?
No.
Fabulous was being surveilled, and then he wasn't. It wasn't like we did a big surveillance thing on him. We looked at a few things and then that was it. Such as people he hung with, certain locations he frequented, any other people that had different crimes that affiliated themselves with him.
25, man. With a 40? With a 40. I got one of them in the hood, for real. I got a trick back. All right, now I'm trying to shoot you off. Take your time. All that wild Benini shooting, that ain't gonna do nothing but get you killed. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like the way that ain't no niggas gonna be that close up on you, white shit. At least start from the pole, nigga. Get to the pole, nigga. Nigga gonna be cutting acid on that shit. Go for that. Let me see you hit that. Tear the face off or something, dude.
Man, everybody's out here. Inside's done, man. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas thinking I don't live what I spit. Y'all want to get at me, man. Point blank period, man. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas a little bit, man, that this shit ain't just rap money. Niggas doing their thing on the streets too. You know what I mean? You see what kind of vehicles is out here. This shit is looking like a block party out here, man.
Fabolous released his debut album, Ghetto Fabulous, on the infamous date of September 11, 2001. Though he would already have made his rounds on the mixtape and DVD circuit, this release not only solidified his entry into the game, but also introduced his crew, the Street Family. From the jump, Fab would show that he was top tier with the bars and able to hold his own with the industry's heavyweights. Using platforms like DJ Clue and Smack, he would flex his skills while also putting on for Street Fam, a crew that included his brother Paul Kane and a few of his day one homies. What would seem like a collective of hungry up-and-comers at first, but it wouldn't be long before the street shit would come into play.
Those thieves rode off with a rare Lamborghini stolen from the valet at the Buckhead Intercontinental Hotel. The case became an internet sensation, and tonight we have the video, and moments ago we confirmed why the DA won't pursue the case. Consumer investigator Jim Strickland broke this story, and now he's first with tape of the crime. Jim.
Yeah, John, the video from the hotel's own security system shows 2 men getting away with the car. The victim now complains they're going to get away with the crime.
This was my dream car.
Thieves left Eric Vargasco's car crashed and trashed. His attorney just got the video showing what happened.
That the bellman gave the keys to the wrong person.
A mistake.
It was a mistake.
That white-hot rod is Vargasco's Lamborghini. At 4:45 a.m. on January 31st, sources confirm somewhere in this entourage is the rapper Fabolous as they leave the Intercontinental. Outside, 2 of the entourage, neither is the rapper, get the keys to the Lamborghini from the bellman. They climb in as if they own the car. The men soon drive off with the rest of the group following in the minivan.
I would wonder how many crimes go at least unpunished when there's a surveillance video that shows what happened.
We've obtained an email from a police detective who confirms the performer knows the suspects, but that DA Paul Howard would not sign off on a subpoena to the grand jury to force Fabolous to name names. The detective says there are no other leads. The Lambo is at a dead end.
Are these guys going to get away with it?
If I had to guess, I would say yes.
How does that make you feel to say that?
It makes me feel like Eric's not going to get justice.
Vargasco is suing the hotel.
I did nothing wrong, and to be forced into this situation where I have to pay an attorney now to protect my interest is just, it just seems wrong.
Paul Howard issued a statement just before news time, putting the responsibility for this on the cops. Howard tells me police had promised immunity in exchange for help finding the car. He says, quote, I believe the integrity of the promise was more important than pursuing suspects. No response from the hotel's lawyer or for the publicist for Fabulous.
Certain things was going, like, police were following us around and stuff like that, and I had heard this buzz of, they got some hip-hop cops, you know what I'm saying? Fabulous got pulled over twice. If we remember, there was 2 incidents he got pulled over. One was the possession of the weapon. Number 2 is one of the other guys that was in the car with him.
Yeah, Sebastian. So, this restaurant called Justin's that, P. Diddy owns, Puff. It used to be out Thursday night, Wednesday. One of them nights, it used to be like good nights, whatever. So we used to go there all the time and this and that. So on that night, it was Puff was actually having an all-black affair. So we were gonna go there and eat first, and then we go to the all-black affair. So I remember Fabulous was there already. I pull up, I'm in the Charger. I'm in the Magnum, I'm sorry, and I pull up, and I'm about to go on whatever, so I see a dude in a Bentley. He pulling up, he get out, he going. Everybody going into Justin's. So as I'm walking, coming out the parking lot, going into Justin's, I see some dudes kind of got the dude that got out the Bentley hemmed up. So I really don't know who it is yet. I know it's somebody in the Bentley. So they got him hemmed up. I see somebody on a chain. He's holding a chain. A little tussle going on. As I'm walking by, you know what I mean? Piece fall on the floor, a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I'm just wow, I'm watching it. Go inside, I sit down and I'm telling dudes yo, somebody getting jacked outside, whatever. Come to find out it's Sebastian, because Sebastian, he actually came in and he was going crazy, he on the phone, yo, get over here now. A whole bunch of stuff going on, right? Long story short, and
sorry, real quick, who was Sebastian? What was? Do you remember his last name?
Sebastian Telfair.
I was with my ex-wife at the time, and while I was driving the Flying Spur, and I parked it right in front of Justin's. So I get out, and we go in and give us our table. We sitting down. A couple of minutes later, the valet was like, "Oh, they towing the cars. You got to move the car." So I get out, move the car, whatever. When I'm coming back in, the kid came off the wall, just shoot, took off. I turned around, looking at him nigga just took off running.
Gunshots, man. Do you hear them? That was loud, man. Really? Start to what in the parking lot? Yeah. Really? You must have had a really nice gun. Who got shot? There's a paramedic here, but I don't see anybody hurt. Check this out, dude. You can really make out people at this.
Oh wow! Man, they need to.
20 by Zoom.
Oh, that's a guy. No, it wasn't that guy.
No.
Where is the Bentley?
I don't know.
Ron? Oh no. Isn't it? The white one? Isn't it the Bentley?
That white one? Yeah.
Yes, that was a car.
Really?
So they should escalate, right, or something?
Is that what happened?
Did you find some bullet impact on it?
You can't see it. It's all. I know he was pointing at the side.
What do you mean?
He was pointing at the side of his car to the cops.
Yeah.
These cops have no idea what's going on. They're like, you know, they don't even know who to stop.
Yeah. And look at, like, there is so many cops in cab service.
Yeah.
You see, like, there was like 2 cab, like.
Oh, cab cops?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were like.
Actually, the cops showed up really quick. One of them. You can almost hear what they're saying. Hey, Tama. The Bentley's leaving. There's no, he doesn't have any tags. That's,
Huh?
yeah, the Bentley doesn't have any tags.
1.5 on the back. That's not a Bentley, is it?
Yeah, that white one's a Bentley.
Really?
The blue one, I don't know. Yeah, it's got spinners. They just got away scot-free with the cop standing right there.
There was information that there were guys going around in his group, particular group, that were going out there robbing other rappers. There were investigations with a robbery involving Foxy Brown, home invasion, and there was also another robbery with Busta Rhymes.
In a news article from July 9, 1998, titled "Rap Star Foxy Brown Saved After Failed Robbery," the Daily News would write, For the second time in 10 days, a high-profile rap star was victimized by home invasion robbers in Brooklyn. Rap sensation Foxy Brown, her mother, and 2 others were the victims of a brazen push-and robbery attempt at their Prospect Heights brownstone the previous day. At about 11 a.m., the 2 intruders fled empty-handed without harming anyone after the rapper's mother, Judith Marchand, who was 49 years old at the time, slipped out and called 911 from a neighbor's house. The police commissioner at the time, Howard Safair, said that the case had not been linked to the June 30th shooting of Wu-Tang Clan member Old Dirty Bastard and the robbery attempt at a Bedford-Stuyvesant apartment. The 2 men forced their way into the brownstone after one of them claimed to be delivering a package, according to a detective, George Nagy. After the rap star's mother opened the door for the men, one of them produced a gun and forced her into the first-floor bathroom. Foxy Brown, 19 at the time, real name Inga Marchard, her brother Gavin, 20, along with a friend, 19-year-old Chetera Jenkins, were upstairs sleeping at the time. While the 2 men were walking up the stairs, the mother broke free and ran out on the streets and called police from the neighbor's house. Cops raced to the scene, believing that it was a hostage situation. Storming the house, they found no signs of robbers, but brought Brown, her brother, and the friend outside of the house in handcuffs. A 16-year-old neighbor by the name of Justin Thomas would tell the Post at the time that the star seemed outraged. She was crying, hysterical, and shocked. Brown would later accompany detectives to the nearby 77 Precinct Station House to make a statement while reviewing mugshots. Though no perpetrators would be caught, later on it would be widely rumored that this might have been the work of street fam.
There were people that were in your crew at one point, and I don't know what type of relationship you might have with these guys, but that they were doing robberies on other rappers. Have you ever heard of this before?
I've never heard of this. We had information that some of his guys that traveled with him were doing robberies of other rappers, and they were taking chains and gold and things like that, and they were going to a jeweler, and they were getting the jeweler to melt down the jewelry, and the jeweler was reselling it.
There's a prominent Manhattan jeweler that's been fencing stolen jewelry. What do you know about that?
I've never heard anything like that. When they took the jewelry to a guy who could get rid of the jewelry, he was involved in the murder in another state. So, and he was a prominent person. So that became a really big problem because now you have all these different units that want to get involved in this investigation. So that became like a problem. And, the FBI had to go through a lot more paperwork. There was a lot of things that had to be done. And then eventually it just got pushed to the side.
I just think it's guilty before, you know what I'm saying? They saying you're guilty before, and then you gotta prove that you're innocent.
There were charges being considered against Fabulous at that time, and the investigation kind of stalled somewhat. These are the things that a lot of people don't know what's going on.
Fab is my bro.
Right. Yeah. He got a bad rap for that, man. It's funny.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, what happened was it was guys out of the same housing projects, Brevoort, that he's from. They was from the neighborhood, so they figured out at this time on the come up, Fab is the biggest one coming out of Brevoort. He's the street guy, so they figure anything come out of Brevoort that happens is
connected to him. Right.
Fab. So
yeah, because we interviewed Plaxico Burris recently.
Yeah.
And there was a story. There was like a rumor that a bunch of newspapers had written that like the reason why Plaxico had a gun on him was because rappers were getting robbed by Fabulous's crew.
Fab always got issues and problems with some type of athlete. He always getting into shit. Plaxico. So what made you? Uh-oh.
You hear that chant, right? I don't want that chant outside the house, you know what I mean? I don't want that chant outside the house.
Uh-oh. See, you're here. We really here. So what made you throw that little, you smacked Plexico up a little bit on
Plexico, man. What he did that I didn't like was, he had a situation where he got jammed up and got caught with a gun. No, he shot himself.
Yeah.
cheddar bar because he shot himself.
Yeah.
So he shot himself in the club, and then I think, you know how niggas get caught out there now, they need something to play off of why they did what they did. So they asked him, why would you have a gun? Why would you even carry a gun? He said, there's a crew of Fabulous and his crew was rolling around in New York robbing athletes for their jewelry and shit like that. It was Fab and the street fans.
We go into a nightclub, and I had my weapon with me, and it wasn't like I was trying to hide it, or I go into this place and go through the security. They know I have it, they pat me down and they say okay, and they let me in with it. So that just
security at the Latin Quarter patted you down, felt the gun, you produced it, and they said, go right in?
Walked through the metal detector, let me in. And I'm maybe there for like maybe 5 minutes. And it's getting so crowded, everybody's coming over. Hey, how you doing? So the VIP say, I'm gonna take you upstairs so you can, relax. Nobody will bother you. And I'm walking up the stairs, and I miss a step. And so my gun slides down my pants. So it's getting ready to hit the ground, so I don't want to hit the ground. So when it's sliding down my jeans, I go to stop it from hitting the ground. And I don't think you could do it in a million times that through your pants you could try to stop it from hitting the ground, and my finger hit right on the trigger. It's like, what are the odds of that happening? And it's like, when it happens, I don't even realize that, I'm shot. I'm like, I take 2 or 3 steps, I'm like, my pants was wet. And I had on some Chuck Taylors, and I looked down, and the top of my shoe was red. And I looked at AP.
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, Antonio, and I'm like, yo, take me to the hospital. He's like, what's wrong? I was like,
nobody had heard the gunshot in the crowded club noise?
Nobody. I was like, take me to the hospital. And he was like, why? I said, I think I just shot myself. And he was like, no. I was like, look. And he looked at my shoe, and he was like, he took me to the hospital.
So how long had you been in Latin Quarter when the gun went off?
Maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Former Super Bowl champion Plexico Burress was formally indicted on gun charges Monday in New York City. Manhattan District Attorney Robert Morgenthau announced the grand jury's decision.
The former New York Giant receiver, Plexico Burress, has been indicted on charges of possession of a loaded pistol and reckless endangerment in connection with an incident in which he shot himself in the leg at a Manhattan nightclub.
Burress, who caught the winning touchdown for the New York Giants in Super Bowl 42, faces the possibility of 3.5 years in prison. Burress's lawyer released a statement saying, quote, although disappointed, we are not surprised. When you have the mayor and district attorney both publicly demanding a maximum prison sentence, it was perhaps too much to hope for the grand jury to conduct a sympathetic review of the unique facts of this sad case. Burress's lawyer says his client is ready to play football this season and says Burress will likely remain out of prison until next spring. He is currently not signed with any team. The Manhattan DA says it usually agrees to plea deals that require 2 years in prison on these charges. No word yet on whether Burress will try to take a plea deal or will go to trial. No one else is charged in the case. Ted Shaffrey, The Associated Press, New York.
We have breaking news this morning. Police are now investigating an early morning stabbing outside a Manhattan nightclub.
One of, if not the main reason that would lead to Fabulous and his crew gaining this perceived notorious reputation was the death of one of his own and an alleged street family member, 25-year-old Shamel McKinley. Shamel also happens to be the brother of Duce ambassador and Rock affiliate Daryl Mr. Ruggs McKinley, a well-known figure in the Atlanta nightlife scene. On November 23, 2007, outside the popular Duvet nightclub in Manhattan, Shamel was fatally stabbed in an altercation that was reportedly sparked in an attempted robbery. According to the Daily News, McKinley allegedly tried to snatch a $10,000 chain from another club goer, and ironically, a rapper himself, a guy by the name of Anthony Taylor, who was also a Brooklyn native. The attempt theft would lead to a violent confrontation, and Taylor would respond by stabbing McKinley in the chest and back, leaving him mortally wounded. Taylor would flee the scene, but would subsequently be arrested in Atlanta several weeks later and charged with McKinley's murder. And by the time Fabulous would wake up the next morning, his face and the story would be plastered on every single New York newspaper, which would ultimately lead to the perception of Street Fam as a violent robbery crew, making them, as well as Fab, the top targets of a mysterious impending police unit titled the Hip Hop Cops. And to me personally, besides anything that happened before it, it would be McKinley's death that would become a flashpoint that would cast Fabulous and his crew, the Street Family, into a cloud of suspicion. Certain media outlets will begin scrutinizing their involvement in various alleged criminal activities, including a series of high-profile robberies allegedly targeting celebrities like Foxy Brown, Busta Rhymes, Zab Judah, as well as NBA player Sebastian Telfair. These specific incidents, combined with McKinley's murder, will fuel a perception that Street Family operated more than just a music entourage, and they will begin to be seen as a feared and violent street crew from Brevoort Projects in the Bedford-Stuyvesant section of Brooklyn. Now further intensifying the narrative that will begin to be associated with Street Family was the controversy surrounding an NFL player at the time by the name of Plaxico Burress. After Burress would accidentally shoot himself in the leg at a nightclub during the height of the alleged Street Family robberies in 2008. Although later in interviews, Plaxico would deny ever mentioning Fabulous or the Street Family to the police in any interviews, it would be widely rumored that he would give a statement that would allegedly mention Fabulous and the Street Family directly. The resulting legal troubles from the shooting would severely impact Plaxico Burress's football career. And eventually it seemed like just as fast as it heated up, all of the talk about Fabulous and his crew being involved in all of these brazen robberies would essentially begin to die down with whatever subsequent police investigation that Derek Parker, the infamous hip-hop cop, would speak on. Now, y'all know what part of the show it is. Y'all tapping below and y'all let me know, is all of this just a coincidence, or did Fabulous have these entertainers and athletes strapping up in the city? We ain't do it in a minute, but while y'all down there, y'all let me know what cities y'all tuned in from. We want to see how far this shit reached. Y'all definitely let me know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what we missed, what we got wrong, all of that. And for sure, tap in with me directly on Instagram and Twitter, POP_A_LOT. Tag me, at me, direct message me. However y'all want to do it, I'm here for all of it. This shade is Pop-A-Lot. Salute the almighty mob.